morning, Cake. I'm Sammy, and I'm here with Miss Carson for an interview. So, our first question is, what made you decide to be a choir teacher? Something specific, any inspirations, or do you just like teaching?
So I always wanted to be a teacher. I do not remember ever wanting to do anything else. But I did have some really fantastic teachers that made me specifically want to teach music. And some of those were my school teachers, like my band teacher when I was in high school, the orchestra teacher I had in high school. But it was also my piano teacher and my voice teacher and my flute teacher that I had outside of school. And also a lot of experiences that I had with music at my church. And all of those things made it so that I really wanted to be able to share music with other people, not necessarily by performing all the time, but by getting to teach other people, specifically young people, how to love music, how to enjoy music, and how to make music on their own.
That makes sense for Miss Carson. After 18 years of teaching at Hoech Middle, what would you say your favorite part was? Any particular years, or was there any that was set above the rest?
Interestingly, one of the years that gave me some of my best memories, even though it was a really hard year, was the year where we were virtual for part of the year because of the pandemic. It was a really, really tough school year, but I learned a lot that year about how to do teaching differently. And I also felt like I grew some really special relationships with my students during the virtual teaching time because I got to know them from home, and I met their pets and I met their siblings and things like that. And it just created this really different kind of community that we hadn't ever been able to build before. So even though it was a really hard year, it became a really special year as a result of all of that.
I wish I was here for that. You help with a lot of programs inside the school and coordinating a lot of field trips. Is there any specific reason you do it, or is it just, are you required, or do you just like helping?
So the short answer is no, I'm not required to do any of that. I do get asked to do some of those things. And some of that is because I have skills that are helpful in getting big things like that done. Um, my students know that I'm super organized, and when you're planning big events, being super organized is really important. But I also just feel like those kinds of big events are part of what makes school fun. Those are the things I remember from my school experience. And so I think providing those experiences for our students here is really important. And I'm in a place in my life where I have the time and the extra energy to do those things, and to spend extra time working on those kinds of projects. So part of it is I enjoy problem solving things like that myself. But I also think that they provide just valuable life experiences for all of you. And it makes school fun. It gives you things to look forward to besides just coming to class.
Well, I'm glad that you help us with that. Do you have any advice for students that are heading up to high school next year? Any general advice for all students?
So, advice for our eighth graders who are getting ready to go to the high school would be to get involved in some sort of club or activity when you get to the high school, whether it is a sport or it's some sort of after school club or leadership or things like that. Being part of a smaller group within the big high school gives you a place to belong, gives you a community to be a part of. And that's really important when you make the switch from middle school to high school, because high school can feel a little bit overwhelming at first. And so having a group of people that you can connect with and a sponsor or a teacher that you can have a really good relationship with from the get-go will definitely help our eighth graders have a great start to their freshman year. For all of our students, I think my biggest piece of advice right now would be that it's okay to do the hard things. I so often see our students look at something that is challenging or hard for them, and they maybe try it once and then they just give up because they don't think they can do it just because they didn't do it one time. And it's okay to do things that are hard, and it's okay to fail. It's okay to try again. It's okay to ask questions and to make mistakes because that's how our brain makes new connections and how we get better at things. And the satisfaction you experience on the other side of doing something hard, when you have succeeded and you've pushed past the things that got in your way, there's nothing like that when you get to a point where you are satisfied with what you've done and what you've accomplished. So it's okay to do hard things, is the thing that I would tell all of our students.
I
So
hope you guys were listening. But thank you, Miss Carson, for the
thanks for having me.
interview and the amazing answers. Have a good day.
Hey, I'm Caleb, and I'll be telling you this week's birthdays. We don't have anything today, but tomorrow there's Elijah Woodson. On Wednesday, we've got Asangelis Valentino Cassia, Dayton Smith, and Wolfram Vasquez Cardona. On Friday, it's Haley Tice. On Saturday, there's Cameron Van Meter, Avery Carter, and Peyton Schultz. And a long list for Sunday: Antonio Andrews, Crystal Miranda Duke, Gamani Vaughn, and Liam Nelson. That's all for me. Have a good day.
Hello, Hoech, I'm Chloe, and I'll be talking about this week's lunch menus. Today we have chicken nuggets with a dinner roll and another choice of barbecue pulled pork sandwich. Tomorrow we'll have mozzarella ribbons, cheese, bread, and spaghetti sauce. On Wednesday we'll have Pizza Hut or another choice of Totally Max tacos. On Thursday we'll have a crispy chicken patty sandwich. Finally, on Friday there will be chicken chili crispitos with salsa or another choice of fish sticks.
Good morning, Hank. This is Kendall here with your holiday calendar for the week. This week is National Mental Health Awareness Week. National Mental Health Awareness Week emphasizes the importance of mental health and aims to break the silence around these issues. It is a chance to promote understanding, reduce the shame that often surrounds mental illness, and shows that seeking support is a sign of strength. The focus isn't only on serious conditions, but also everyday struggles like stress and anxiety. Take some time this week to focus on self-care and go for a walk, spend some time hanging around with a friend, or do a hobby that you enjoy. Thursday is National Chocolate Chip Day. Is there anything that makes anything better like chocolate? Obviously not. Why is it the ultimate and portable chocolate was designed? The chocolate chip. Enjoy your favorite chocolate chip cookie, sprinkle some chocolate chips on top of some ice cream, or just eat them by a handful. This Friday, May 16th, is a UNESCO observance that is the International Day of Light. The International Day of Light celebrates the role that light plays in science, culture, art, education, medicine, co- communications, and energy. This day is celebrated on the anniversary of our first successful operation of the laser in 1960 by physicist and engineer Theodore Maiman. This day is a call to strengthen scientific cooperation and harness to the potential of light to foster peace and sustainability. And finally, keep counting because there are just 11 more days until school is out. That's 9 more days of school.
Hey, I'm Angelis, and I'll be telling you about this week's school events. This week's first event is the Choir and Orchestra Spring Concert, which are taking place tonight, May 12th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. at Rittner High School. Next, we have a water balloon capture the flag tournament being sponsored by student ambassadors. Be on the lookout for the posters with QR codes around the building on Friday. We'll be leaning the halls to clap out and congratulate the Rittner High School graduating seniors that attend Hoech Middle School. Thank you.